Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for ongoing projects. I'm going to work on this one, but this one's going to be kind of strange to everyone because I'm not really liking it's not setting with me. And one of the things I've learned with my art is to keep working at it until, I don't know, there's just something inside of me that says, I like it, that's awesome, that's amazing, I'm happy with it, I'm stopping. I have had friends in the past talk me out of it, even though in stopping, because I was tired and I wasn't hitting it, and I thought I had to take a break, and they said, oh, it's fine, it's eclectic, it's, my so-and-so would love it, and, leave it the way it is. And that's all said and done. But I learned a lesson. I did that, I accepted someone's opinion, and then I hated it. And I thought it was the worst thing I'd ever done. And so did other people, and so I got a lot of backlash from it. And they, of course, didn't know the story. They just said mean things. And so I've learned that I don't quit until I'm happy. And then if other people don't like it, hey, to each their own. But I've got to be happy. So I'm not really happy with this one, and I want to set it up here for a minute because I'm going to do, I think, something that most people would say is crazy, but I'm going to cover this whole thing in orange. But I want to get the this bottom part real quick. Sorry if I'm inside of you, inside. And you think, why the heck are you going to do that? And I probably don't want it quite that dark, so I'm going to add more liquid to it. And I'm just going to put this glaze all over the whole thing. And then what I think I'm going to do after this sets is just kind of go back over. And I kind of want to go in the strokes, the direction of the grasses. And the reason I want to do this is because by putting this layer on, it will give everything just kind of a little, some depth to it, where it doesn't really have it right now. I'm not, painting is an illusion, and so it has to have that look of 3D to it, and I'm just not feeling it, so, and I'm sorry if I'm in front of my camera. I'm trying to still learn how to, do stuff. So, but basically I'm just kind of doing the bottom edge so I can get this on my canvas, on my easel more snugly. But see how that just kind of changed everything? And even the black, it just, yeah, I probably should have, instead of using straight black, made my own black. And I probably would have been happier with it, but so I'm just not that happy. Oops, now I got too much liquid and not enough pigment. So I'm just going to cover this whole thing. And just trust that. See how this, well, not anymore. Where the lights will come out where it needs to. And the thing is, I can go back over these lighter pieces of grass. And make them pop. Just with some strokes. But just how I added, the orange around the edges last time. I kind of liked that, but it kind of made the rest of the painting kind of blah. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of going over the whole thing. But too, these lines that I have of here, the yellow, they're just kind of straight paint. There's no glazing to them, so this will help as well. And two, I think this will bring kind of some continuity, because I've been using, you know, several different kinds of yellows, and one's a cool yellow and the other ones are cad yellows, and that lemon yellow is really not, you know, in the same family. And so this will help bring some continuity to the whole thing. And I don't know if you can see it already, but I can already see, you know, the depths happening, just because, you know, it's you know, the paint's picking up the orange more in some places and less in others, and that helps with the whole, you know, continuity of it. And again, I can go back over these lines with yellow. So just like that, I need to get it off my easel so I can do another one. Just like that. So I didn't ruin it. I just kind of dulled it down a little bit. So now that I can add highlights that will make it pop, where before the whole thing was popping. So let me get rid of this, just so I don't get my hands too messy. And yes, I do have easels all over the place. I might show you my family room. It's a mess. I haven't cleaned it since the holidays, so you can really tell. So this, I'm liking everything. I'm just working on the hawk, and so it looks like I need to have a little bit of more shadowing, so that I can really bring out some highlights. And I don't want to use black this time in my shadowing. I'm going to use actually ultramarine violet, and I'm going to mix it with my what I already have going on, the orangey red, the red stuff. So this is what my palette looks like. It's a mess. So I'm just adding it to the to what I have already there, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of darken this. Now this is straight. I also want to darken along this wing because it's away from the sun. This whole edge is away from the sun. So really all I'm doing is kind of going back over what I did last time. A little bit more definition, you might say. And on this side of the body. I'll put some highlights on this once I really want to focus on highlights. Right now I'm just kind of focusing on the shadows. So I am using the board to kind of brace my finger on, and I can do that because it's the background has set. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to add some more definition. This is just kind of lighter. Okay, that's good. So there's that one. Now, I have forgotten the stuff that I've been working on with you. I have the Seascape I'm satisfied with. So I'm going to, this is my Groom. This idea came from a picture I have of my dad on his wedding day. And so it's just a silhouette. I'm going to throw more shadows. I've been glazing this. I do want to throw more shadows in here. And I'm just using the purple and the orange and the liquid. Good complement for this green. I do want to see it. Some change here. There we go. That's more like it. Well, I'm almost doing straight purple. I do want liquid in it because that's what makes the pigment float. But since this is all light, the leaves of the trees have to kind of graduate from being almost opaque to darkness. Oops, I added black in there. I didn't want to do that. And yet you still see some of the light shining through. And I'll probably keep working on this until I've been working on it for a while, and I just, I'm just not satisfied, like I said. This side is a lot darker because it feels closer. This side's kind of hard for me to see again, that shiny. And I'm sorry, the last one that I posted, I had a lot of, cut the painting off. I didn't even realize I was cutting the painting off. And so you didn't see a lot of what I was doing. And since this is with liquid, and it's kind of, it tends to be opaque as it is, I don't really have to, mimic the brush strokes as much. Because again, in the darkness, because I want this being so bright, everything else is kind of dark. I kind of have this reversed. I kind of need the Now, one of the things I do want to do is, because this is straight black, I'm just going to kind of cover it with the purple. Mix with the liquid. Again, just to give it, more vibrancy, more depth. And I don't know if you can see, but see how it's kind of faint right here, which you want because, the light is kind of hitting it. Just like that. I'll do the same thing. I'll show the parts of my grass that's growing on the path. I really like this path too. It's kind of one of my other favorite ones. I think my paths are always a work in progress. But then again, I think painting skills are always a work in progress. And this picture is probably one of my more, it's realism, but it's not. So just like that. So there's that. And that's my groom. And this is my bride. And I'm really not sure on this one. Mainly because you can't really see the veil all that much. So I'm not quite sure if I should, I don't know, make it lacy. And she's kind of leaning a little bit, which, you know, it looks like even in her dress she's leaning. But I will keep working on this one. I've actually come a long way with this one, just because in the beginning I almost quit. I almost said, I don't think this is going to work. But it has slowly been coming around. So, but I do like how everything else is kind of turning out. You know, the sun, the light's really not in this tunnel part, and I really don't want you to see, you know, the tunnel part per se. Just because it's really not the emphasis. And I did have like a stonework going, and I just didn't like it. So I took it out, as you can probably tell. So here I'm just kind of adding what I would think, you know, deeper shadows would look like. It's kind of one of those long tunnels that you just don't have the light that comes in. And the ceiling is, you know, it's kind of like right here, but I wasn't really good with the whole. And what's neat is, you know, that even though you can't see what I'm doing, when it dries, that's when you start seeing the effect. And I just like that. And I am just still using that purple, just as something different. And I probably should be going kind of more like this with my brush strokes. And I just gotta probably think about this one more. Because these are really far away. So it's not going to be dark anyways. So there we have it. There's that. Now, this is where I call myself a sloppy painter. So I don't know if you've seen my my new living room, but my husband likes trains. So this is just kind of my quick block in, and I used a canvas that had something else on it that just kind of was no longer speaking to me. And so I kind of used part of what was on there, and there is a lot of paint strokes that I put in there that's coming through. But so and my bridge is not quite right. So I'm going to be fixing my bridge But this is where I'm a messy painter. I mean, I just slapped that on real quick, and it was kind of like Christmas Eve. And so really, you're really not going to see a whole lot of detail in this stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is, I found a actual train bridge like this, and I already know it's too narrow looking. But I think what I'm going to do is kind of change the angle a little bit, and put a wall, some kind of wall up. So a lot of this part right here you won't see. And then, and most of this will be black, except for when it's all dry and I want to get some highlights in there, I will add highlights that kind of look like shining silver and brass and that kind of stuff. But I have to pull out the picture I have, and it's on my phone, and I'm using my phone right now. So, but I did kind of stick with the kind of like just the shape of the engine here. And really, this is probably the darkest of it all. Because really the light is back here, because the smoke is all kind of covering it. But all of this was from the other painting, and at this point in time, I might keep it. I haven't decided. But really all I've done on this is the blocking in, and I need to go ahead and look at it some more and make sure I have everything. Because I just eyeballed it. I didn't, use a template or anything like that. So but I did put a couple of layers of protecting gloss on 8 paintings. And so I've given myself a goal of completing 24 paintings in this month, because I just have too many going, and I have ideas for new ones. I have so many ideas, so many visions. And so I just need to get some of these done, and so they can be dried. I do the Utica Ice Cream Festival every year, so if you're in Ohio, you can come out to the Utica Ice Cream Festival and visit with me. And again, I'm trying to just kind of go in the circle like this, because that's a lot of the details will be in a circle. And so I'm just kind of keeping my brush strokes that way. Okay, this is probably going to be a lot different, probably wider. Just because it has to be a wider bridge to handle this engine. And I have to figure out how to perspective is something that I'm working on. I'm sure if I had taken classes, I would have been made to practice perspective. But, I didn't take classes, so another reason I call myself a messy painter is because I'm kind of lazy too, I guess, because, being 58 years old, a lot of time involved in learning something new like this, so I kind of like to learn as I do. So kind of like that. And over here, I'm just gonna kind of just fill it in some more because it's supposed to be really dark. You can still see some of the brown behind it, or some of the white, I should say. So, yep, definitely need my picture for help. But, so that's going to be, I'm going to be working on this because I want to put this, I took old paintings down and I want to put this one up. So for my husband. So, and I've got some of his train stuff out to put as decor in my new painted rooms. So, but I'm going to go ahead and stop on this one for right now, just because not sure where else I want to go with it. So I'm going to stop this painting here, and I have a really large painting that I've been working on, and I haven't worked on it in probably 5 years. It's probably more of a traditional style painting, and so I really need to get that done. That's one of the ones I've said I'm going to get done this month. So that will probably be in a totally different video, all by itself. One, because it's so big, and two, because I'm in the blocking in stage, so it's a lot of just blocking in, you know, different shades of color. And it's a little different in perspective, and I already know the perspective's off on some part. But that's okay, because I like the whole idea of it. And hey, it's me who matters in liking it. So the thing is, someone else will like it too, and that's the best part. That's when I like it and someone else likes it. That's who I painted it for. So that's pleasing. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.